Hey everybody, KC here. So at the risk of the occasional morning newsbeat reader writing in and saying that I sound like some cranky old grandpa, I do want to go on a little bit of a rant this morning because I got an email today from Major League Baseball, the website, pointing out that Charlie Blackmon, who is an outfielder for the Colorado Rockies, currently is hitting about 500 in about 17 games. So what they said is it's not too early to start the 400 watch. Will he be able to hit 400 in this season? Now, I got to tell you, this makes me a little crazy because it's not a real season. It's only 60 games. An ordinary season is 162 games. It's played with teams going back and forth across the country. It is a grind. Part of the challenge is being able to do it during a grind. Nobody's leaving basically their part of the country. Nobody's traveling very much, and it's only 60 games. Listen, it would be an achievement to be able to hit 400 or 560 games, but it's not a 162 game season. When Ted Williams did it back in 1941, he actually played in a doubleheader. The last day of the season, at any point could have sat down to preserve a 400 average, and he didn't. And he managed to have such a good doubleheader that he ended up hitting 406. That's how you do it. You go out and you take your swings. You have to do it that way. Now listen, there is a business connection here, because I think there are a lot of companies out there who have had some really, really good quarters, and they're convinced themselves, oh man, this is great. We are terrific. We're terrific. But something? Yeah, you did really, really well during the pandemic, and that took no small amount of dedication and talent and effort. But to some degree, what you really had to do is you had to open the front door and let the customers come in, and open the back door and bring the toilet paper and the paper towel in. Now again, I don't want to diminish how hard they worked during that time. It was really tough managing to stay in business and keep things going and keep the supply chain intact during the early days of the pandemic. But here's the deal. If they want to continue doing those kinds of sales, they have to continue to come up to bat. They have to continue to take their swings. They can't convince themselves it's always going to be that way, that somehow the accomplishment that they had during that time is going to be applicable to the accomplishments of the future. 60 games is not 162 games, and the months of the pandemic do not translate into long-term success, which is only going to be determined by being relevant to the consumer, resonant for the consumer, and continuing to deliver a compelling value proposition that makes people want to do business with you. That's what's on my mind this morning. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.